This is a video on the physiological sigh. It's the fastest physiological mechanism to reduce the stress response. It's perfect for the field that we live in terms of persistent pain. If you want to know why it works, how to do it, and when you can apply it, watch this video. Hi, my name's Drew Coverdale. I'm a physiotherapist in the northeast of England, a little town called Stockton. But this information I'm giving you today will work for anybody in the world. It is the fastest physiological response for reducing stress. Now, why it's relevant in physical pain is that often it's triggered by not what's happening in the moment. In persistent pain, it's a prediction of what's coming in the future based on a learning from the past, and that's encoded unconsciously, and that automatically sets your breathing rate at the same rate, ready for what's coming, depending on what breathing rate was required in the past. So you were scared in the dark when you were 5 and you breathe fast, and you're still scared of the dark. If I say you're going to go into a dark room, you'll pretty much start breathing at the same rate. So it resets the natural balance of breathing for anyone, any human. And those over-breathing and under-breathing mechanisms are going on all the time with persistent pain, and the people who have them, no idea about it. So this physiological sigh, how it works? Well, when you take a big breath in and a small breath afterwards, it increases the lung capacity, and then the last little sniff fills the alveoli, the little sacs in your chest, in your lungs, so there's no more capacity left, it's full. And then a long out breath, generally through the mouth, goes into that recovery state. So the body's just naturally recovering. Now think of when animals do this, humans do this, everybody do this. The dog that goes to sleep after a busy day, a busy walk, will do the same thing. It goes into an automatic sigh phase, recovery phase. If you think of when you banged your thumb or you've hit your shin, you know that the pain from that moment is going to get worse. Someone might have seen you do it and you say, "You're going to be okay," and you say, "Hang on a sec," you hold your thumb, it's like, so you're in the stress response and your body comes into recovery. If it's emotional distress, you've ever held someone who's crying and they're sobbing and they did this and they did that, and the emotional charge and the emotional pain will still be reflected on as a moment of distress, but they never feel it to the same intensity again. They're in the recovery phase. And the body does that naturally. Now when it does it at a lower level, imagine being on your phone answering a text, or imagine in an email typing and getting your point across, or imagine being on the phone and say, "I need this delivery and it has to be then because we've got this deadline." You start to hold your breath, you'll start to feel the tension, you start to be in the emotion of the thing that you're focusing on. And that's fine if it's then, but notice someone as they put the phone down, you say, "Are you okay?" And they'll say, "Yeah, it's getting delivered next week," and they're automatically going into that sigh state. So this is deliberately bringing your body into that relaxed state. Now how it works is when you take that deep breath in, it opens up the spatial cavity around the heart, so the heart gets a little bit larger and the blood volume then is more, so it speeds up the heart rate. The heart has to work harder to pump that volume of blood. So those two little sniffs, if you like, big sniff, small sniff, increase the cavity. That trips the brain to then do something to reduce the heart rate. As you have that long exhale, it slows the heart rate down. As you breathe out, the diaphragm comes up, the pressure gets more, and that reduces the heart rate. As you breathe in, the cavity gets bigger and the volume's bigger, so the heart rate speeds up. So the net effect of the long out breath, so you do a longer out breath, the net effect is you are slowing the heart rate down. Now if you're doing this when you don't even think you need to, you're over-egging the good stuff. And with persistent pain, it's triggered in a way that the body's already on a higher set point, but you might not be realising it. So this is bedding in the good stuff. Often with persistent pain, people think, oh, I'll only attend to myself when the pain's there. I'll push through so much that I'm already at that level where I didn't even realise now I want to do something about the pain. But the default behaviour for pain for these patients in persistent pain is normally pushing through, fighting it, or just giving into it. Fight, flight, freeze or fawn, and just going back and round in loops. So this is how you do it. So watch it first. So it's a big in breath and a small sniff at the end to maximise the capacity, and then it's a long out breath. So here we go. So it's big in breath, little one at the end, and then long out breath. And again, I'll do it without talking. Now I'm going to do 3 more. Join in with me. Doesn't matter who's there. They don't even know you're doing it. And again, we do a second one. Last one. That's it, it's done. Just wait about 20 seconds. 20 to 30 seconds. Just notice what you feel. You just become aware of a sensation. Almost like trickles down. Think of it as serotonin just trickling down. It's symbolising you attending to you. You're giving the mind a rest. If your mind's forever thinking what to do next and how to fix this and it's giving it a rest. And you're communicating the message of safety through the rate of your breathing, but you're doing it in a very deliberate way that tells the body, lads, lasses, looks like you're breathing quite slow. Can we switch your mind off? Yeah, no problem. Body, do you need to hold on to that tension? No, he's breathing slow. Let him down. We take a foot off the pedal. Heart rate down, yeah. Breathing down, yeah. Yeah, looks like it. Thinking brain, yeah, switch it off. Yeah, or switch it back on. Reflex thinking, switch off. Thinking brain, imagination, switch it back on. Digestion, yeah, switch it back on. Blood to the heart and lung. Blood to the muscles. No, I don't need that. Blood to reproduction. Yeah, we switch that back on. Blood to digestion. Yeah, get ready, we can eat now. Line's over. Chase isn't there anymore. Chase is over, line isn't there anymore. It just slows the system down. All those systems of fight or flight running long after the lion's been and gone. Rather than reliving it, even though it's not here again, and replaying it, but being in that state that is unconscious to most of us, you are deliberately injecting a state of calm into your day, preferably when you are calm. But the beauty of this technique is that you can do it when it's predictable. If you are going to see the mother-in-law, I like my mother-in-law, but always a good example of, do you know what's coming, and you know how you might feel, you know what they'll say, you know how you might react, you do it then, before. If you're in it and it's caught you unawares, a sense of anxiety, a physical pain, or something suddenly that kind of shocks you into more reactivity, you can do it then. And after the event, then you can do it then. Now when you do it after and before, you start to tell the brain and body that we are aware of what's coming. We've got a calm mechanism before. If you can do it calm and be calm when your head's in the lion's mouth, good, that's a real skill. But if you can do it afterwards or before, it starts to cap it off and create a chain reaction rather than a habit loop. And that's how you can break those moments that you can find so hard to unpick. It pauses the mind's responsibility and overemphasis on the need to fix it. It takes you temporarily out of fix it mode into safe mode. Because it's so short, wouldn't justify doing it? And you're doing it anyway, you're breathing anyway, and you're using this sigh occasionally through the night and through the day without realising it. But it only ever takes you to a certain set point that's ready to go again, and this takes it lower. If you're interested in the neuroscience and want it explained better than I've explained it, look up Andrew Huberman breathing techniques. But just practice that. Anytime that you want to practice it, do it deliberately. Do it once to see what it feels like, then do it 3 times to see what that feels like. You can do it more for 2 minutes or 5, but you don't need to. This is a perfect technique when you recognize the heightened state, but it's brilliant to do it when you are relatively calm and you're consciously installing calm in your system. You're being kind to yourself in that moment by bringing the system down. It might feel a bit counterintuitive and strange to do when you're not at a heightened state, but that's the skill with this. That is the skill. Start to feel safe long before you feel danger. Start to feel safe. Make a habit of it. And this will be one of the things that can help you reverse persistent pain. Last little go. Big sniff, little sniff. One more. I like it so much I'm going to do one more again. I'm worth it. It's like a drug. I'm worth it. Question is, are you? And if you are, go do it. Let me know what you think about this technique, but more importantly, what you feel about it. Feel safe, feel calm, habituate it, reverse persistent pain, live happy life. It's not that complicated.